My goodness, what a remarkable legacy. Concern for the common robot. You don't come across old-fashioned values like that anymore, friends. And for good reason. There's no money in it! Hello! Memo to Big Weld, we're not a charity!
That's why old Fatface no longer sits in the big chair.
He's a relic! So, let's get down to the business of sucking every loose penny out of Mr. and Mrs. Average Knucklehead. What's our big ticket item? Upgrades, people, upgrades. That's how we make the dough. Now, if we're telling robots...
So hello and welcome back, guys, to the channel. We have the FSV completely upgraded, which is absolutely lovely. So yeah, we're going to be having a look on Overlord now, sort of how this thing performs. Just really quick though, thank you so much for Ronnie Game 2223 for your nice comment. On the last video we were playing this thing stock, ironically also on the same map as well. So we'll be able to see how it compares there. He just said sort of, hi, I'm new, love your channel. So yeah, thank you so much for that. Really do appreciate all the engagement you guys are giving me, and 31 subscribers is absolutely brilliant. So such a big thank you from the bottom of my heart, guys. I really do appreciate it. So now we do have that out of the way, and that's absolutely brilliant news there. On Overlord, I love this position here. We took it on the last one. Other FSV comes around the corner. We put a nice shot into him. And this is just really... You, obviously, with the reverse speed of this thing, it's really quite nice because you can essentially afford to just kind of move back there. Like usual, yeah, guess what? We got some lag. Does anybody have any tips? I'm filming on Filmora, the editing software, and it does have a screen recording function. Whenever I do it, for some reason, it just seems to kind of lag. And it doesn't do it on any other game, just on World of Tanks. I mean, do any of you guys know what the problem is? Does World of Tanks view it as maybe a hack or something, and it sort of tries to run your account? Or, because I have no idea whatsoever. But yeah, we're just sort of taking pot shots at the moment, and when we're actually up here, you'll notice that the others are getting spotted, but we're not. Something that's quite unusual with the British medium tanks, that their camo is quite bad. Not the tier 7. I've been very, very happy with the tier 7 there. Bit of selective fire there. Obviously, the T28 we're going to struggle to go through. As you can see, it's mostly kind of orange there. We probably could have, but I didn't want to risk a critical hit. T20 comes around, and I sort of remove them as my target, and yeah, go to the T20, which is slightly less armoured. So yeah, we're just sort of using these bushes, getting a nice kind of variety there, sort of having a look if we can spot things for our team as well. And yeah, as you can see, the gun, just like the stock one, really nice and reliable. It really sort of keeps that feel of just a decent, well-rounded, just kind of easy to learn sort of medium tank, in that if you aim at something and it's green and you shoot, and you know it's not like a tiny little pixel, most likely it's going to hit and go in, and I like that. I like predictable, easygoing sort of guns like that. As you can see there, sort of lag pushed us out a bit, but also with the turning, I think we did have the maximum wheels in our stock video as well, so yeah, obviously that hasn't changed, and that's still a massive drawback of this tank. It's something that you're going to have to take into consideration when looking at playing this. Just because, again, it does sort of ruin quite a bit in terms of sort of the mobility, with being that, you know, you have an EBR and it goes left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right, and it's so hard to hit it. This thing, it can just go fast straight. I have heard that the tier 10 is slightly better in terms of its sort of hull rotation, so I'm going to be very, very interested to see that there. But yeah, with this tank, we're packing about 38% camo stationary, so not a slouch at all. Bearing in mind that we do have the ventilation in, you know, where it has like a little perk, that kind of slot like the first one, it gets like a little bonus. I think like a 2.5%, so we have that in there, which improves the camo, but we also have a bounty exhaust, which massively improves the camo on this thing. So we've taken some shots here and there. Tiger tank comes up, we put a lovely little shot into him there. Obviously we fall back because he is quite close, we are going to be spotted. And right now it's not looking too good. We are 2 tanks down and quite a large number of... Actually no, we're not. We're actually up on hit points. What am I talking about? Yeah, we are sort of 1 tank down now. So again, it's not out of the realm of possibility for losing, but it is quite prevalent in this game, so we're going to be playing it a little bit safer, and it is quite a nice close game. I've seemed to be having more of these close games in World of Tanks now. I don't know what it is, but yeah, I'm absolutely loving it, to be honest. Even games that I lose quite heavily is absolutely fine with me, so long as it's sort of competitive. So as you can see, the enemies have sort of gone through the right side of the map there, the sort of bushy sort of hills, and we have some snipers at the back, but no one's spotting, so I'm going to take the initiative and try and spot them there. Yeah, lag comes in again, and yeah, we're just going to have to get around that. So we do get some nice spotting on the Tiger 2, or 1, sorry. He does look quite stock, to be honest. So luckily he doesn't hit us there. And again, we're just spotting these guys and letting our team sort of get engaged in the fight. I do also have CVS on this tank, and CVS has been an absolute godsend. I've really noticed a difference then. On maps like this, where there are a lot of bushes, despite not having the best view range on this thing, it puts the little view range that you have to the best of its use. Because of course you are able to sort of reduce some of the camo from the enemy tanks. So yeah, we're basically sort of pushing forward here. Luckily I do have a very good team in this match, and so do the enemy as well. The enemies are definitely no slouch in this game. They haven't made it easy. The Char 2-4 sort of tries to retreat. Unfortunately though, it's a little bit too late for him to retreat at this point. He is not looking too healthy. Get a nice shot in the tracks and get the rest of that damage as assistance there, which is always nice. If you guys are ever trying to mark tanks, always sort of have a look at getting through the tracks. Obviously on some it's easier than others. For example, sort of V-shaped holes like IS-3s, they're a little bit harder to actually do damage and go through the tracks. Usually it's just sort of one or the other, especially with lower tier guns as this thing, which is also something that I've noticed on this thing. The DPM is brilliant, the gun handling is lovely, the shell velocity is really nice as well. But one thing that's kind of a little bit odd about this tank is that the British wheeled mediums were kind of this EBR with a big gun kind of thing. Like you put like a nice bit of damage in with some good alpha damage, and then you sort of retreat. But of course this thing doesn't have that alpha damage. It's getting out-alphaed by a lot of things. I think in my previous video I used the Leo as an example. You know, it's got a 300 and something alpha damage gun there. Of course a little bit derpy. You know, it's not necessarily comparable to this in terms of its gun handling, but in terms of the alpha damage, it's massively outclassing this. And as you can see, on the move, just also aiming, sort of stop for a little bit, boom, we're fully aimed there. But again, as I was saying, it sort of falls into this awkward scenario where the whole point of the line is sort of have this maneuverable chassis with a high alpha damage gun, but this thing doesn't have that high alpha damage, so it kind of falls into its own kind of feel. It doesn't feel like the rest of the British tanks. Of course, I've played the tier 8 one. I still have this standard gun that I'm using here on the tier 8 because I haven't fully upgraded it yet, so it is feeling quite similar, but I imagine this thing will be quite an outlier, something that feels like it's in its own kind of tech tree in itself, like it feels like it doesn't belong in the actual tech tree there. But yeah, a really great tank. Obviously just improving on the stock form there. It just gets a little bit better with each upgrade you do, and yeah, I've really enjoyed playing this tank. So let's have a look at sort of what we got from the game there. Let it all load up. So yeah, again, 7.8k experience, round about 47,597 credits. Absolutely lovely game there. Yeah, so we come 5th down from the top, bearing in mind that it was sort of, I think, a tier 9 game. So we did very, very well there. And yeah, we made, is that 35? Yeah, 35,600. So yeah, that was the FSV gameplay there. As you can see, really nice kind of strong tank for tier 7. Really fits in well, I feel, with the rest of the competition. Really nice kind of DPM gun. I really do like that. Great accuracy as well, which is what I was saying with the stock gun. But it is just that little bit better. I really have enjoyed playing this tank. As you can see, I currently have the Saladin, and I have been working on that a little bit. Saladin, I don't know if I'm going to make a stock review of it. Yeah, which is the sort of stock side of the tank. Yeah, as you can see, it's pretty much just the stock version of the FSV. So it's pretty much just the FSV at tier 8, which is obviously very, very hard, and I found this thing an absolute nightmare to grind, but obviously I'll talk about that in the video where I do have it upgraded. I'll do like a little segment where it is sort of stock, obviously. But yeah, at the moment it obviously has the same gun as the FSV. But yeah, the FSV overall, yeah, really nice sort of solid all-rounder. Mobility is a bit of an issue, but apart from that, yeah, it's a brilliant tank. Again, thank you so much, guys, for 31 subscribers. I really do appreciate that. I didn't think we would get there that quick, to be very honest with you. But yeah, it's absolutely brilliant to see. Please do leave a comment. I absolutely love having sort of more engagement on my channel. It'll be absolutely brilliant to sort of see what you guys think about the FSV. However you find the grind with it. Do you feel like it's a quite a nice kind of in the middle tier 7 tank? Do you feel it's bad? Do you feel it's a bit overpowered? Yeah, just let me know in the comments, and yeah, I'll respond to all of your comments there. Thank you so much. Bye.